Bam!
I can one-up you on the thing, though, that someone had the brilliant idea, though, while I lived in a trailer park, to send me to private school where obviously they had
That's
money.
where we met.
So I got jumped off on a bus where, from the
Oh,
public school. So it was painful. But I also wanted to say, do you remember, forget the Tommy Hilfiger, did you ever pull off wearing parachute pants?
Yes.
Dude, I pulled that off pretty well. I love the MC Hammer pants.
I had 3 of those bad boys.
Those are great pants right there.
I
Hey, look,
love
I'm
it.
wearing a Biggie shirt right now, and the question always comes, is it Biggie or Pac? And I like Pac because I'm from Arizona, but I'm supporting Biggie today. We had some sales managers in the office today. So I used to wear the MC Hammer pants, the purple Fila's. Anything I can get that would make me at least somewhat be cool. I was
Jayson, I love this. When I read this, I thought of the way that I created my business 23 years ago, and that was, the speaking business. You broke into corporate America by telling some white lies to get hired into the companies. And,
Yes.
you talk about faking it until you make it. Talk a little bit about that and like where you worked. Because, you still worked for some pretty big companies, AT&T, Verizon Wireless. You were great in sales.
Yeah, so I always thought I had game. My wife would tell you my game's not that good, but I thought I had game. I got her. So, and we're high school sweethearts. Loyalty's big to me. We've been together for 23 years now and been married for 19. And then, I've got 4 kids. My oldest 21. I've got a granddaughter. It's 15 months old. And I'm only 40, so I'm doing good. But
is that what it says on social? That's what I say too.
Well, I went from a DILF to a GILF. That's what it says.
I love that. I love when you say that.
When I got kicked out of school the last day of 10th grade, and I passed 10th grade. And during school, I would help my dad deliver papers. So he worked at AT&T, 3rd shift most of the time, sometimes 2nd shift. And when he did 2nd shift, I'd help him deliver papers at night. It was an extra $100, $120 he'd make. I would be working at Boston Market. I would still go to school. It's just what we did, right? So my mom would work at a Harris Teeter bakery. And that's how that was normal to me. And then I'd go to school. So I'd be delivering papers in the middle of the night till 3 or 4 in the morning. So I had this hard work ethic. When I got my heart broken in 97, early 97, yep. I was supposed to graduate class of 98. When I got kicked out of school after 10th grade in 96, I decided I could either go get a GED, do nothing, or go to Stanley Community College and do the high school diploma program. Yep. So I went to Stanley Community College. I did the high school diploma program. And because I had an injury in a landscaping truck where I got like $4,000, which was enough to pay my insurance for like 10 months. So I had this $300 car. The insurance was more than what the car was worth. So needless
what kind
to
of car
say,
was it?
It was an 85 Dodge Lancer. It was about 5 colors. The insulation would be falling out of the top. The acceleration was broken. It was bad. I got it painted at Econo for $200 when I got the money. But so I went to school morning and night to get it done. Like, you know what? I can get this done. So I'm opening the books, and it was Mickey Mouse, and you're filling out a form. You're not learning anything. I didn't get to do graduation, get to prom, none of that stuff. But I had a diploma from Stanley Community College. Well, in 97, I got my heart broken. And Liz broke up with me at the time. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to drive to Arizona and I'm going to go to college. I'm going to take my SATs. So I go to my parents and I sold them on this idea in the same day. Hey, I'm leaving to Arizona tonight, taking my buddy Kenneth with me. We're driving across country. We're good. They're freaking out. I'm like, I got this. So they sign over parental rights. I talked them into this to go to my one of my best friends who bought my old house. His family bought our old house in Arizona. I was going back to live in my old house with my best friend, with his parents, in my old room, as ironic and crazy as that is. And so we drive 3 days, 36 hours, 12 hours a day to Arizona, and we get there. And I'm 17 years old, no cell phones, none of that jazz. And I get there and I'm starting to take the SATs and I'm trying to figure out how I can try to go to college to ASU. And I've got all these plans. And my best friend's a senior in high school. And I said, I'm bored. This sucks. So I talked to Mary and Eddie at the time, and I convinced them to, hey, look, I've got these transcripts that say I graduated, but let's go make 5-cent copies at the gas station. And let's make sure it doesn't say I graduated, but I still have the credits, so I can go to high school with everybody else and be a senior and see what that's like. No, you don't need to do that, mijo. I'm like, yes, I do. I've got this. We can do this. So I talk her into it because she felt bad for me. And so I got to go to school when I wasn't supposed to for like 3 months. And I took classes like computer and business and extended long lunches. And I got this job with my business partner now, Kevin Klink, and we were selling credit card protection over the phone. I saw he was rolling in this like brand new neon with Dayton's, and I'm like, Kevin, this guy's got money? So I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm selling, telemarketing. I'm selling credit card protection. I'm making like $400 a week. I'm like, part-time? He's like, yeah. I'm like, dude, I want in. So I go there, and they've got like 100 employees, and me and him for the next like 6-9 weeks are number 1 and 2 in the company back and forth. And we're making $400 or $500 a week part-time. So I got a taste early of what sales was like, calling people saying, I see you got this credit card, but you don't have protection, and you learn it, right? And you get motivated and you're hungry. Well, then we get approached by a company next down the hall that's selling home security. So I'm like, hey, we can do that. So we go get a part-time, we change jobs there. We're making $600-700 a week, basically calling and saying, hey, this is Jayson. Do you remember going to the mall and registering for the Dodge Durango? Yeah, great news. You're still in the runnings for that. But do you hear this? Look, you've just won a free home security system, free installation, pay $1 a day for the monitoring. When can we come schedule, do your installation? We'll get you set up, get your prize, blah, blah, blah. We smashed it at that. And then I'm doing well, and Kevin's loving it, and we're making money. I talked to Liz, and I decided to come back to North Carolina. And so I drive by myself, still 17. And I drive, this time I do it in 2 days, 18-hour drives each time. And I get home. And when I do, I now that I've got sales experience, I'm looking for sales jobs. I can't find any. So I see one at First Union, which now is Wachovia, which now I think is Wells Fargo. But it was First Union, and it was in Charlotte. They had a CIC center off Harris Boulevard that was a brand new building that was flourishing with all these jobs. I saw an opportunity to do sales there. Basically, sales is customer service / sales, where you upgrade people to checking, money market checking accounts and offer them CDs and stuff like that. So I was like, I can do that job. Surely I can do that job. There's no problem me doing that job. So I applied for it, but because you had to have a college education, and because I had a fake ID and I was only 17 at the time, you had to be like 21 or 22 to have a college education. I filled out the ID like I was 21, getting ready to be 22, because that's what my ID said. And I filled it out and said I had an associate's degree. And so when I did that, now back in mind, so the listeners and viewers know that they didn't have like real internet like they do now, where you can punch something in and find a billion things on somebody. Wasn't like that. Everything took time. It was snail mail. It was ridiculous back then. So I did this not thinking I was doing anything wrong, because I went and I did the interview. I killed the interview. I got the job. I get into training for 3 weeks. The first 2 weeks, I'm number 1. They're allowing us live on the phone. I'm beating everyone on the floor for sales. I'm blowing it out of the water. Like, almost like, and remember, this is all legal stuff, but when you watch Wolf of Wall Street and the guys on the phone, and it was like, it felt like that. Like, they're like, what is he doing? I was just so good on the phone. Yep. And so HR pulls me to the side and it's like, hey, William Waller, 'cause it's William Jayson Waller. Yeah, we've called UNCC Charlotte and they don't have your transcripts for your associate's degree. And I said, well, did you check under William or check under Jayson? Oh, we checked under Jayson. Nope, you got to check under William. So that bought me some time. So now my stomach's in pits. I'm like, oh, geez, I'm nervous. I'm really doing well. I go on the floor. I'm doing well. A week goes into me on the floor. I'm number 1. I win an award. My manager pulls me to the side. Same conversation. I need to know what's the deal. They can't find nothing. So I came clean with them. And I said, look, no, I don't have a degree. And I don't even think we talked about age. But he's like, well, dude, why would you lie? And I said, you guys wouldn't have hired me if I didn't. You wouldn't even give me a shot. I wouldn't even got the interview. And now look, I'm the number 1 rep. You're the number 1 manager. So now I'm selling him on why this is a good thing. And he's like, don't ever do that again. And he was a mentor for me. I'd worked there like 9 months and I was making 65, 70 grand a year at 17, just turned 18 years old on a job I probably shouldn't have had. And that gave me a taste of what sales and success was, to where then I got a job at AT&T. And then, fast forward, I get a job at Verizon when it was Bell Atlantic, and I'm one of their number 1 folks, and until I open a business. But it gave me that drive of, that's what this looks like. And this is how success can happen. Damn.